Hello everyone, Vincent Teo from HDTV Test here. I am a TV reviewer and professional YouTuber. In this video, we're going to compare the picture quality of these two 2020 4K OLED TVs. On your left is the 55-inch LG CX or C10. On your right is the 65-inch Panasonic HZ1000. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my hands on the same screen size for these two TVs, so it's going to be difficult to judge upscaling and motion performance on a level playing field. But otherwise, I will do my best to point out the differences between these two sets. Both televisions have been calibrated to the same standards used within the film and broadcast industry, namely D65 white point, 2.4 gamma and Rec 709 colors for SDR, and the same D65 white point, ST2084 EOTF and DCI-P3 within Rec 2020 container for UHD HDR. Because of my camera's dynamic range and YouTube's compression, not to mention that WRGB OLEDs do take on a blue tint off axis however slight, what you are seeing in this video won't truly represent what I'm seeing in person. So please, do not judge picture quality directly from this video. It's going to be like trying to assess the sound quality of your friend's hi-fi speakers by listening over the phone. Right. OLED televisions are capable of true blacks since they are able to control every pixel independently of each other. So it is how they transition from black to just above black that will separate one OLED from another. Among OLED manufacturers, Panasonic and LG Electronics are the two that are at the forefront of addressing the near black prominence overshoot issue, which manifests as flashing or flickering artifacts mainly in low bitrate content. As you can see from this quantization test pattern, the Panasonic HZ1000 still held the upper hand in near black gradation, even though our review sample exhibited some dark uniformity issues on the left of the screen, which we will demonstrate more clearly later on in this video. In real-world viewing, the Panasonic HZ1000 managed to suppress near-black flashing artifacts more effectively and display smoother gradation than the LG CX in this heavily compressed broadcast footage of Game of Thrones. Please bear in mind that this is a torture test. It's unlikely you'll be watching many content that's more bit-stuffed than this clip. But hey, it's what's required to separate the best from the rest, right? Before I move on with the rest of the comparison, I would like to thank UK electrical retailer Crampton & More Doncaster for sponsoring this video. If you are thinking about buying a new television, even if it's not the LG CX or the Panasonic HZ1000, please support this channel by considering buying from them. Call 01302 365 760, mention HDTV Test, and you will receive great price and service. Thanks again for your support. Out of the box, colors looked more natural on the Panasonic HZ1000, but after calibration, they were virtually neck and neck. If anything, the ability to build and upload 3D LUT may make the LG CX slightly more appealing to those of you who need the ultimate in color accuracy, even if it's just on paper and not perceptible by eye for most people. Both the LG CX and Panasonic HZ1000 performed 5.5 pull-down correctly to present 24 frames per second films without telecinic judder, but very rarely, the Panasonic exhibited the odd frame skipping in 24Hz HDR scenes with lots of smoke or fog. Both TVs are equipped with 2020 OLED panels featuring 120Hz blackframe insertion, which, together with motion interpolation, increased motion resolution to 1080 lines or even higher. But Panasonic's implementation was superior for several reasons at the time we filmed this video. First, using blackframe insertion at the lower settings on the HZ1000 didn't crush shadow detail, unlike doing the same thing on the LG CX. Also, Panasonic's blackframe insertion setting is truly independent from the intelligent frame creation motion interpolation control, but LG's BFI is implemented under the True Motion User submenu, so some motion interpolation was still being applied even with the judder and the blur both set to 0, causing the occasional stutter or frame skipping in various types of content. We are using our own custom-authored ABL or Automatic Brightness Limiter test pattern here as an example. Otherwise, LG and Panasonic appeared to be using different duty cycles at different BFI settings respectively. If we wanted to fully investigate this, it would probably take us more than a week, which we couldn't really afford currently when there are so many new TVs arriving for review. So here are some slow motion recordings of both televisions at different BFI setting and refresh rate, played over a soothing soundtrack that you can make love to.
We started off so strong. We had our dreams to follow. But what the hell went wrong? How come I feel so hollow? It's more than this than meets the eye. To eat and breathe, to live or die. Through the hours, through the pain, and still the end is on my brain. If heaven is a place on earth, we try our best for what it's worth. So fire away. So fire away. You shook me to the core. I had no way to know. And now we are no more. I got no way to go. It's more than this that meets the eye. To eat and breathe, to live or die. Through the hours, through the pain, still the end is on my brain. If heaven is a place on earth, we try our best for what it's worth. So fire away. So fire away. So fire away. So fire
Bright uniformity was superb on our review samples, with no evidence of banding, dirty screen effect or color tinting on full-field gray slides. Both televisions exhibited thin vertical lines typical of consumer OLEDs on full-field slides just above black, but our Panasonic TX-65HZ1000 review unit suffered from a darker patch on the left side of the screen, which could be mitigated somewhat by engaging blackframe insertion on the min or mid setting. As explained earlier, it's difficult to compare upscaling on different screen sizes, but at least this year LG has allowed overscan to be disabled for standard definition content, therefore catching up with Panasonic. The LG CX was better at interlacing video-based content, smoothing out the jagged edges in the red zone of this 1080 Ti test pattern found on the fabulous Meridio 7G signal generator to a more effective degree than the Panasonic HZ1000. Gradation was generally smoother on the Panasonic. The LG CX or C10 has a smooth gradation decontouring filter in the user menu, but it didn't reduce the polarization in the sky of the Martian even on the highest setting. For HDR, peak brightness and ABL circuitry were similar on both OLEDs, with perhaps the Panasonic HZ1000 being a touch brighter on full screen white. We put a number of HDR scenes through the luminance heat map engine developed by my colleague Adam Fairclough, who is also known as Evil Boris online, and we found that sometimes the C10 would present certain elements brighter than the HZ1000, and other times the Panasonic would look brighter, likely due to different tone mapping algorithms for different HDR10 static metadata, as these sub-700 nit OLEDs try to decide between maintaining average picture level or preserving specular highlight detail when tone mapping 1000 nit or even 4000 nit content. Both TVs have user-selectable dynamic tone mapping. Panasonic's only boosted certain bright highlights in a selective manner without changing the overall APL, whereas LG's would darken or brighten the entire screen, thus deviating more from creative intent. With the latest firmware of 3.0.60 on the LG CX at the time we filmed this video, occasionally blacks would float in Netflix Dolby Vision content. In terms of Dolby Vision IQ, LG's version would look brighter than reference in a pitch black room unless calibrated, while Panasonic's implementation respected the artistic intent more by matching Dolby Vision dark at baseline, only seeking to increase brightness when ambient light is detected. However, as purists, we probably would still refrain from using Panasonic's Dolby Vision IQ picture mode, since there's undefeatable edge enhancement and noise reduction, however slight. For gaming, especially with next-gen consoles, the LG CX is the runaway winner, thanks to 4K at 120Hz and VRR support, as well as a lower input lag of 13 milliseconds versus the 22 milliseconds on the Panasonic HZ1000. To conclude, both the LG CX and the Panasonic HZ1000 are fantastic OLED TVs in their own right, each with its respective strengths and weaknesses. We suspect more people will gravitate towards the CX because of its HDMI 2.1 gaming features and slightly cheaper launch price, but the HZ1000's outstanding color accuracy, near black handling, and BFI implementation should appeal to movie and sports enthusiasts too. If you have found this video useful, please click the like button and subscribe to the HDTV Test YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.